You guys have a great new holiday single out, which I find very fascinating. What made you all want to dive into holiday music with Rich Man's Holiday?
Yeah, that's a good question because I'm normally not a fan of that particular kind of holiday music starts the day after like Halloween now, and we're blasted nonstop by Mariah Carey, which, great song, but it gets tiresome over after a while. And I feel like every kind of avenue in that holiday genre has been kind of tapped into, but if you can get like a song that becomes a holiday classic, it's always, it becomes a holiday classic, and that's a great thing. That particular song, Rich Man's Holiday, it came to me. I was living in New York City at the time in a very small apartment, and living in New York City is expensive, and the holiday season is all about, feels like it's all about buying expensive gifts to show people that you love them. And I just didn't have the money for it that year, and it was just and I was with my partner, and we were just celebrating the only way that we could at the moment, which was just kind of stringing popcorn around the apartment. And we had a little tiny wonky tree that we named Henri, and it was just really sweet. And we just had the best Christmas and the best holiday. And I was like, man, that really feels right to me. So I feel like I don't know if there's has been a song written from that perspective. So I just went ahead and wrote it. I'm proud of that one. I really like it.
When it came to the lyrics, then did you sort of flesh them out because you had this thought in your mind about what would happen throughout the song and then you put music to it? Is that how the song sort of formulated? And is that different from your typical writing session for your regular music that you typically, your non-holiday music?
That's a great question, and I get asked that a lot. And what comes first, the lyrics or the melody? And most of the time, I write the like I'll start with a guitar progression or something, some chord progression, and it'll kind of speak to me. I'm like, oh, that sounds kind of witchy, or that sounds like a disco party, or that sounds like this. And so I usually write the chords first and then write lyrics that kind of fit the chord progression around that. But this particular song, Rich Man's Holiday, I sort of had the melody and the lyrics just sort of pop into my head again as I was walking down. If you've ever lived in New York City around the Christmas or the winter holiday season, they start to put up Christmas trees like right on the side of the street. So certain streets, you're walking down this like magical corridor of these Christmas trees, and you're just kind of walking through it on the city streets, and it's a really magical kind of thing. And as I was walking down the street, I don't remember what exactly the lyric was, but I think it was I don't want the luxury car with the silly novelty bow. Because if you watch I don't know if they have this commercial in other countries, but there's always the Lexus commercials where they open the door and there's a luxury car with the big silly bow on it. And that to me became kind of the symbol of like show your love by spending as much money as possible, and sort of the commercialization of the winter holiday season. And so having not the means to buy a luxury car was just a really inspiring thing for me. And as I was walking down this corridor of Christmas trees, it kind of popped into my head. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes a lyric will just pop into your head, and that's the impetus for the song.
When it came to the production side of this, then how much of a hand did you have in it since this was your vision? Did you spend much time crafting it yourself, or did you say, this is my vision and trust someone in particular to creating it?
I had written the way that I usually record my songs is I'll do a lot of the instrumentation myself here in my studio. And I'll write the guitar part and the keyboard part, and I'll have an idea about the vocal arrangement, but I usually don't get into the vocal arrangement until I'm in the studio. So we were working with uh, uh, a fellow by the name of Jay Rothman, who had just produced our album Children of the Stars. And I went into Jay's studio, and we had just finished our off-Broadway production of Children of the Stars. And so I was still in contact with a lot of that cast, and I brought them in to do the chorus of that song, and we kind of arranged the harmonies in the studio, and it was a really great thing. We had just ended the run of that off Broadway show, and so it was a nice little reunion. It had happened, I guess that show closed at the end of the summer, and this was written a little bit before Christmas. This song was written and recorded in 2014. We had it's kind of a re-release of this song, so that's when this song was recorded. But it was really cool. So to answer your question, you know, it was kind of produced outside of the studio, and then we went in to record the final touches of it. That's usually how I do it.
You're a part of social media. What kind of fan feedback have you been receiving then and now to this
Yeah,
beautiful re-release?
yeah. Well, it happened at a weird time when the Orion Experience actually was sort of we were sort of on hiatus. We kind of had stopped recording music because we had done the off Broadway show, and we kind of had made it kind of the idea that like if that show didn't really take off, we were going to take some time off to pursue like solo projects and stuff. So that was like the last song that was written before the Orion Experience went on hiatus, and because it was like it was a weird song to like cap off our library. I was like, I'm just gonna take that song down. So we took it down. And people were really pissed about it. I would get emails all the time, like, where's Rich Man's Holiday? Why can't I find Rich Man's Holiday? So it was nice to hear that kind of feedback. And now that we've re-released it, I think people really dig it. It's strange because it's not like the other Orion Experience music or even, my solo stuff. Um, it's very different from all of that, but yet it's some people's favorite songs. It's my it's my partner's favorite song. So I think that's really cool.
Well, I mean, you guys wrote it when it was a personal experience, so I'm sure it is their their
Yeah,
preference when it comes
yeah,
to your music. And you
yeah,
wrote it about your time together, so
yeah.
I would think they were impartial.
But it's been cool that the fans have really been reacting well to it, and um like I said, I, because I'm not that big of a fan of the holiday music, it's nice that I was able to contribute my version of that, and hopefully the fans enjoy it as well.
Absolutely. Um, what do you think it is then about Rich Man's Holiday that's making it a fan favorite for your Orion fans, and also what will make it a timeless holiday tune? Since it is atypical of holiday music, I feel like that's what I connect to it most. It has a good spin, but also, it's holiday centric at the same time. So it's a unique tune to put on, but
Yeah.
still super timely.
Thank you, thank you. And I think I think what people are, at least when I listen to it, what strikes me about it is the sincerity of the lyrics and the sincerity of like the vocal take on it. I usually do a lot of like high end production on my vocal stuff, but that one, if you listen to it, you can hear like the cracks and the blemishes of the vocal take, but it lends itself, it has like a sincerity to it that I think people really enjoy, and is appropriate for that song and for the message of, you know, love the people around you, and not for what they have, but for what they give you, you know?
Absolutely. And hopefully this is the start of some new music for you. Are you in the studio now crafting some new songs, working on a new album or EP that you can tease?
Yeah, it's been so crazy. Since 2020, we had our song "The Cult of Dionysus" sort of went viral on TikTok, and that kind of opened up a whole new audience for the Orion Experience. A different generation had gotten to hear our music, and ever since then, it's just been nonstop. So yeah, we're taking a little break for the holidays, but then we start right back up in January, and we have an album called Cosmic Covers, which is our album of cover songs, and I'm really excited about that. We're halfway through it already, but we have some songs. We haven't actually decided on the 5 final songs, but we're toying around with. There might be some Sticks on there. There might be some My Chemical Romance. There might be.
This is going to be a
Uh,
hard process to whittle down, my friend.
it's really really hard, man. Because there's so many classic songs, but we try to, you know, for me, a good cover album is, or a cover song is one that really reinvents the original in a way that is both, challenging to the listener to be like, oh, wow, I know that song, but this is a totally different approach to it. So, you know, obviously I would love to cover everything by Queen, but how do you improve a Queen song? You really can't.
I know you.
So, and it's not that I'm improving people's songs, but I'm reinterpreting it in a way. So yeah, it is hard to whittle that down. But Cosmic Covers is coming out, I think, in the early part of the early portion of 2023. We don't have a release date just yet. And then I'm working on a solo record called Tragic Magic, which is my sort of you know, Fleetwood Mac witchy magic rock music album. So that's coming out in 2023 as well. And if you are a super duper hardcore Orion fan, you know that I was in a band called Kitty in the Tree in the 1990s, and we were sort of like this glam rock bubblegum pop band. And we are releasing unreleased Kitty in the Tree music as a full album in
Ooh.
2023 as well. So it's going to be a super busy year.
Are you able to tease, and I don't want to twist your arm too much, a song that you're planning to
Sure.
cover that you are pushing to make it on that album since you haven't whittled it down just yet?
Yeah. So one of them that's really been in my brain for a long time is a song called Oxygen by a band called Beach Bunny. And I really love Beach Bunny. They're just super, it's like super melodic punk music. And I just really dig them. But they have a song called Oxygen, and I'm going to rearrange it as this like super haunting orchestral piece. And I'm really excited about that. And it's very going to be very vocal harmony dense.
Oh my gosh, I'm salivating. Keep it
Yeah.
together, Jamie. Keep it together.
Yeah, can't wait for that one. We're gonna try to, we really are big fans of Australian pop music. There's so many artists that come out of Australia that you wouldn't even really think. Everybody knows Olivia
Sure.
Newton-John and the Bee Gees, but Rick Springfield is Australian.
Hmm.
I could go into it, but we're gonna try to cover a really cool Australian artist as well. So that's gonna be on the cover song album. And yeah, we get a lot of, we're trying to do like half legacy artists and half contemporary artists.
That's a great
So we,
idea.
yeah, to mix it up a bit. And we keep getting asked to do My Chemical Romance. So I'm still like diving into that catalog to see what I could pull out.
Who are some artists then that you're really digging right now? Albums or bands that you're totally into at the moment?
Yeah, that's a great question. There's so many oh, man, you got me on the spot. Right now, uh I really like Ghost. Do you know Ghost? Have you heard of them?
I don't know that one.
Okay, they're I forgive me, audience, if I get this wrong, but I do believe they're Swedish, but they're like this super melodic metal, and it's really, really cool. So I like Ghost a lot. I like Beach Bunny. I love Mitski, man. I'm really into Mitski. Mitski writes music, writes chords that are very, very strange, and I dig it. Um, let's see who else. I like Lucius. Do you know Lucius? Yeah, yeah, I like Lucius a lot, and I like those are the ones that are popping into mind. There's so many more. My you know, a lot of the Orion Experience fans will send, you know, will kind of like comment about what they like and what they like to listen to. And I'm always trying to like pick up on that because I think that it's cool to make that connection. We actually do a cover of a Mother song on the Cosmic Covers album, as well as a Cave Town song, which is cool. And we do Studio Killers too.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, what would you like to say then to everyone who are fans and supporters of the Orion Experience?
Man, I just love to say that you know, we really I appreciate all of the love and support, like more than you guys could ever know. It's so awesome to have such a cool audience. Our fans are like the best fans in the world. I know everybody says that, but they're just the coolest, most artistic, creative, just like brave, awesome, gender fluid weirdos. And I love them all so much. And so thanks guys. I really appreciate all the love and support that you guys give us.